MCP has become a bit of the viral topic now. Everyone is talking about it, but not everyone really knows what it is or how to use it effectively. In this video, we are going to demystify MCP or the Model Context Protocol. I will break down what it actually does, why it matters, and most importantly, show you the real world use cases. We will walk through how to integrate the Azure MCP server with a client like Visual Studio Code. So you can see the first hand how it helps large language model connected to the tools and data in the very clean and standardized ways. So let's get into it. So what is MCP? The MCP stands for Model Context Protocol is introduced by Anthropic. This is the open source protocol that helps standardize how apps gives the context to the large language model. The easiest way to think about it is kind of like a USB-C port, but it is applicable for AI application. You know how USB-C works across tons of different devices and accessories, right? It is just one universal way to plug things in and have them work together. MCP does the same thing. It gives developer a consistent way to hook up the models to various data sources, tools, or systems without having to reinvent the wheel every time. So why MCP? MCP really unlocks the ability to build more advanced agents and workflows on top of the LLMs. We know that LLMs are powerful, no doubt, but they are not useful in isolation. They need to access to the real data and real tools to actually get things done. That's where the MCP comes in. It gives you first a growing library of pre-built integrations. So your LLMs can instantly connect to databases, APIs, and other services without custom glue code every time. Second, it is a vendor flexible. So you can switch between different LLM providers like OpenAI, Azure OpenAI, Anthropic, and many more LLM models without the re-architecting your setup. And finally, it is designed with enterprise security in mind. So your data stays within your infrastructure and you have the full control over how and when it is expected to the models. So overall, Model Context Protocol helps move your LLM from being a smart assistant to becoming a fully integrated agent in your tech stack. Now let's understand the architecture. So there are some key components involved in the architecture. Some of them are like MCP host. This is like a program that is like Cloud Desktop, VS Code, or any kind of IDEs that want to access the data through MCP. Next, we have MCP clients. So this is the protocol that maintains one-to-one connection with the MCP servers. And the MCP server. These are the lightweight programs that each expose specific capability through the standardized model context protocol. And obviously, the MCP servers interact with the external services such as databases or APIs. Now, let's take a look at the real demo. In this demo, we are going to integrate the Azure MCP server into VS Code. So first, let's type in the Azure MCP server and go to the detail of the site. Here, it mentions the several capabilities which MCP server offers. The very first thing in Visual Studio Code is that you have to first log into the Azure. So how you do that? You open the terminal and type in the AZ login. I have already done that, so I will not repeat the process. So AZ login is mandatory because this is how your MCP server will interact to the Azure. Next, you need the GitHub Copilot so that you can send your prompt. I have already installed the GitHub Copilot, so let me open the chat now. This is the chat window. Here, first thing first, you have to enable the agent mode. By default, it is ask mode. And next, you see this setting icon. When we click on this, it offers that add MCP server. So first we click on this and then select the command. In the command window, you remember that we copied a command from the Azure MCP site. I paste that and press enter. Now it is asking for the MCP server name. So I give my MCP server name like Azure MCP server and press enter. So what it has done is that it has added the MCP server details into my setting.json. Now you see that we have 23 tools are showing up here. These are the capabilities which Azure MCP Server offers. Next, let's try to play some of the prompts. The first, we will try to create a resource group in our subscription. Now our LLM or the MCP server is thinking that which of the tool will be used here. So it has listed that AZMCP group list will be used. It is showing me a prompt that this is the tool it has detected. Do you want to continue or not? So I will press continue. And you can see in the response that the resource group MCP demo 101 has been successfully created in the East US region. Next, we will try to stop a web app service, which is already running. So let me type in command. Again, it had detected the tool. I press continue. And as expected, the app service under the resource group test RG has been successfully stopped. So let's verify both the action and go to the app service. MCP app service, this is in the stopped state. And let's verify the resource group is created or not. Yes, the resource group is created clearly, you can see. Now let's try to give a command to enable or to start the service again. Yes, it is in the stop state. You can see the start button is enabled and the status is stopped. Now let's give it a prompt that please start the service again. So I say that start the app service under test RG. I press continue. And the response comes that the Azure App Service MCP App Service under the resource group has been successfully restarted. So let's verify that whether it is restarted or not. And yes, we can see that MCP App Service has been started now. So we have seen how MCP can turn LLMs into the powerful agent by connecting them to the real tools and data in secure and flexible ways. If you have followed along this demo, you now have a practical foundation to start building with MCP yourself.